We're back, and you're talking to Mr. Legendary. For anybody gets on my case, I know. As part of the video we're going to discuss today, I am also human. I go through shit, make mistakes. We all do. Which is why, for the returning video, we're going to talk about a story time from a woman who's speaking about her getting her lick back. I watched a bunch of videos trying to come across the one that I wanted to break down. There was nothing specific that stood out to this one. It was just one of the shorter ones. But they all kind of had a lot of the same premises, a lot of the same gems, a lot of the same talking points, and a lot of the same irrational thinking, which basically made me want to discuss it. I wish I could have played all of them. I don't have the technology to do all that shit and all the cutting, editing. Nor am I going to today because she basically gives it all. And I'll speak about some of the other videos or some of the experiences I had in the lick back situation as well. I have been the person getting the lick back on. I have been the person on the outside being used to get the lick back. I have been the person who has sought to get a lick back on another female. Since I've seen it from all the different angles, since I've been on all sides of the coin, I am here to help break down a lick back video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start hearing from Miss Jasmine about her video and her lick back.
Jasmine, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so that you're notified every time I upload. And if you've been here before, hey boo, how are you? You better be doing good because we live in our best motherfucking life. All right. So by the title, you can kind of tell what we're going to be talking about today. Your girl got caught up in some shit. And sometimes, ladies, we got to cheat back, right? We got to cheat back. We be having to. But before I get into that, go ahead and like this video. Give this video a thumbs up. And
we're going to address that first part right there. That first part about sometimes you got to cheat back. This is the dumbest thing you can tell the woman. And a lot of women are going to hate me for this video, but I'd rather give it to you how it's supposed to be given. And I'm not going to really get too much into my personal beliefs. I'm going to get into what we should be doing and as men and women in some of these instances. I will give, if it's needed, my personal versus the rational thinking. But for the most part, we already starting off bad by saying sometimes you got to get the lick back or you got to cheat back. This is the dumbest shit I ever heard of. We're going to get into it a little bit more in a minute.
Let's just jump right into it. Okay, so basically, this story takes place. It's kind of like a two story times in one. At this time, me and Deshaun everything was kind of okay, but I still knew he was doing shit. Like I told y'all in my last one of my last story times about Deshaun, that like I knew he was cheating. I knew he was doing stuff. I had found him texting some girl. They was calling each other all the motherfucking time, and he was like lying like, oh, that's some girl from work that I smoke with. So we just gonna say the girl name is.
First problem, I wish she would have addressed it even more, but she didn't. But let's address the caveat in the room. One of the most overlooked things in all of the lickbacks, all of the modern times, all of the women's videos that I see, most people know they're being cheated on. And they stay. And their reason for staying is even more backwards than the cheating itself. Because what they'll mostly say is, okay, well, they were cheating and they stayed with me. They didn't leave me either. So why should I? What I'm saying is, once you know you're being cheated on, you've already made the conscious decision to accept what happens with being cheated on. So this woman knew a man was cheating on her multiple times. She didn't decide to do anything about it. She didn't decide to address it the way it needed to be addressed or just leave. She was being cheated on and said, okay, I'll deal with that. It's similar to as if you're a business owner and you know someone is stealing from your cash register. And you say, I know this person is taking money from me, but I'm willing to deal with it because they're such a great cashier. You cannot then be mad that they have been taking money from your business because you chose to deal with it because you also had the upside of what they were bringing to you. So once you make that decision to keep this person as your cashier or keep this person in your life who's been cheating on you, then you cannot complain about it afterwards. That decision has gone and been made. You knew that and you made the conscious decision to stay. Why people cheat is a whole nother topic, but why people cheat matters because it's different than why you decided to stay and get a lick back. Most of the time in situations, people are cheating and staying because they want to have their cake and eat it too. Most people want to say, you know what? I wanted to have this person and this person. I wanted to get this from this person. I wanted to get that from this other person. And I wanted it to stay in my life at the same time, which is why I was cheating. Cool. But now this other person, once they find out, whether it be male or female, you have the choice to say either I'm willing to deal with that, with the fact that you need someone else to get the things that I can't provide, or I can leave now too. So now we got two different whys. We have one person saying, hey, I want two different benefits from two different people. But then we got the other person saying, okay, I'm willing to accept that. But I also, even though I'm getting everything I need or I don't even need all this extra shit, I'm going to go get it just because you got it. Now we have vindictive. Now we have anger. Now we have bad intentions entering the circle. So now, whether it's male or female, we're fucking up the vibes because we're not even doing it for the right reason. So there's no reason to cheat back if you had no intentions on cheating in the first place. This is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, do not do it. It's not worth it. If you had no intentions on cheating, don't let this toxic poison attitude get inside of you. It's pointless. Leave. This is the rational me seeing. And honestly, this is my personal opinion. Now, just leave. The lick back shit is stupid. Cut it all off.
Baby mama. We're just going to call her baby mama. So, how I found out that he had a baby on the way, this is how I found out. So, which in essence caused me to do what I did. So, basically, we was at his house one night, right? And so y'all, I already told y'all, his mama didn't like me at this point. Like, she did not like me. She would try to do anything to break us up, like say anything or whatever. So one day we was at his mom's house and we was arguing. His mom come outside like, I don't want that be here, all this other stuff. I'm not gonna disrespect your mama. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So
we gotta be careful. With this video, I reviewed a bunch of videos on these topics, and fortunately, most of them were from Black women, you know, so I chose to do those videos, and a lot of them make no sense, and a lot of the women aren't being completely 100% honest in the situations because she didn't go into why his mom is acting like this. That's not really common, especially for mothers, to specifically like say in the face of a person, I don't like this person, I don't know why she's here. She's not going to say why the mom is acting like that or go into all that, but let's bear with us. This was one of the shorter videos, so that's why I did it. I didn't want all the details and the rambling and some of the other videos. I can't take it, especially when we're not being 100%. So let's just roll with it.
So I'm like, all right, I'm about to leave. So I'm grabbing my stuff. He like, she's just saying that, like, you don't gotta leave. You don't gotta leave. I'm like, nope, I'm about to leave. She don't want me here. I'm finna leave. She's like, you already know I don't want you here, but you still keep coming over here.
So the mom already
and I'm
knew.
Just like, your son be wanting me here, though.
She already knew. That don't matter.
You better tell her before I tell her. Or her ass better stop coming over here before I tell her, and that's gonna make her stop. So I'm like, tell me what? Like, tell me what? What you gonna tell me?
Wait, before you do, I just want to tell you one thing.
What you want to tell me, punk? Huh?
Fuck you want to tell me, man? Just what the...
So, he like, man, she just talking. So he yelling and getting into it with his mama. Like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, da-da-da-da-da. So, he walked into the bus stop, and so I'm like, tell me what? Like, what your mom was talking about? And he was like, what? And I was like, But you gotta tell me, like, tell me. He was like, oh, I don't have nothing to tell you. Like, she's just saying that. She's just saying anything to break us up. Like, anything. Like, she gonna.
Keep in mind, again, this is the same woman that said that she knew before this even started that she was already being cheated on. So she already know what's going on. Mom is now telling her something's going on. I should tell her. She's going to continue to play dumb. So we know what's going on, but we're still choosing to play dumb to stay in the situation when she could have just been left. But she chose to stay. I'm not arguing what his intentions was. Now we're arguing. We only can argue what we know for a fact. And what we know for a fact is that she said that she knew he was cheating. And she chose to deal with it and then says, okay, now I'm making this video about how I get a lick back. Let's let her keep talking about her lick back.
Don't say whatever because she don't like you.
But she
and I was like, So he was like, just leave it alone, man. Like, it ain't nothing you need to, like, think about. Like, leave it alone. So I'm like, I think it is something I need to think about. So maybe a week had passed and I left it alone. I didn't bring it up no more or whatever. But it was like a rainy motherfucker. It was a rainy night, like super rainy. And so, like, I'm chilling at home in bed or whatever. And I think Kylie was at her granny house or whatever. And so it's just me by myself. I'm chilling. And so I get a message request from, like, let's just say the girl name is like Petty. We're gonna call her Petty. And so that was the name on, like, that's gonna be her Facebook name. And so she was like, basically, like, me and Deshaun finna have a baby. We're gonna have a junior. He basically live with me. That's who he come home to after he come with you. You need to leave my man alone. He don't want you. Stop harassing him. All of this other stuff, like trying to make it seem like I'm this crazy stalker bitch, right? So I'm like, girl, all right, whatever. She like, I'm gonna take good care of him. All this other stuff. So I was like, from the looks of it, so of course I replied back, and I'm like, from the looks of it, you look like somebody auntie, so I hope you can take care of him. So she like, yep, auntie gonna take good care of him. Auntie gonna take good care of him. I'm like, okay, like, all right. So I have never been a girl that's gonna argue with you back and forth. If you feel like he your nigga, he your nigga. If you wanna fight for him, do that with somebody else, because I'm not finna put up no fight. Because obviously, if he my man and you got access to me to try to come to me like a woman, he ain't my man.
Completely agree with her on all fronts on that end. If you're going to be the person cheating, there is a honor code. This is, I know I'm gonna get some pushback, but that's fine, because I want to be honest with everybody here. There is an honor code that used to come with cheating. And I know you're going to be like, well, it's cheating. How can you be an honorable cheater? There are people back in the day when our grandfathers and grandmothers had these situations where they were getting married young. And, you have to get expected to get married young. But there's something in men that sometimes prevents us from being as monogamous as we would like to. So we venture. We do dumb shit. There were times where women who have better emotional and mental capabilities than us men were able to deal with things that we couldn't deal with or weren't able to process the way we would like. There were situations that arrived where, men wouldn't be as monogamous as we wanted to be, and things would happen, and the wives knew that there is a bigger picture to worry about. I can't be so petty as to worry about, what he did in a stupid moment or, a stupid time. I have to worry about my household, and I got to worry about me, and I got to worry about my family. So I'm going to have to put my pride to the side, put those feelings to the side, and worry about this. And for the people who claims that, oh, here you go trying to protect men, here you go, it's not realistic. This is happening today as well. I just wanted to give a better example because it was good enough for Beyonce. And I said this in one of my other videos. I said it was good enough for Beyonce. Beyonce did it. Beyonce had a husband who was a multimillionaire and decided, as the baddest woman on the planet, he wanted to go do something else. And she had an option. That's Beyonce now. It's Beyonce, whose options are limited. Said, okay, I'm staying. Solange got mad about it and wanted to attack her husband in the elevator. She said, no, I'm staying. It's my husband. We making this shit work. And they made it work because there was a bigger picture. Because there was more things to worry about. Let's go ahead and let this play a little bit more.
So I'm like, okay.
Oh, I forgot. That was my point, though. To just make it clear that we got bigger things to worry about than who's cheating. And if you're going to cheat, we got to make it clear that there's an honor code to it. And the shit shouldn't be able to get back to your quote-unquote main line, if that's going to be your main line. Can't have that. I'm completely in agreement with her. If it got to the point to where, you know, she knows how to get in contact with this woman, then she probably knows too much. This is tough because I'm also a firm believer in being honest with sidelines so that they can know, you know, exactly what's going on and how shitty is. But I do know when too much is too much, because if they do know, then they should also know that you can never go to her. And they should also know exactly what y'all are and how she's will never be that. So there has to also be some truth in there, but there also has to be a line drawn where she knows she can never reach out to that person if she knows about that person.
Okay, so Deshaun was supposed to come see me that night. So Deshaun hit me up and he was just like, oh, you hungry? Bitch, yes, I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. But I was like, no, I'm not hungry, because I want him to hurry up and get to my house, because I wanted to beat him up. I wanted to box him out like I was Kangaroo Jack, because my blood was boiling. Like, I was.
One of the common denominators I've heard in every video, and I watched 3 today of the Lick Back story times. And one thing I heard in every single video, all from women, is that the moment they found out the man was cheating on them, they immediately went to violence. And they all said on YouTube, on a platform that, you know, doesn't condone violence, that they were going to be violent to their spouses because of infidelity. And this is where, again, I get really disturbed by the way people choose to react over something that they knew was happening in the jump. And all my videos, and all the videos that I watched today, especially this one, they all acknowledged that they knew they were being cheated on. And they all acknowledged that even though they knew they were being cheated on, that I guess every time a new situation came up, they wanted to fight. They wanted to be physical with men. And I'm just like, this makes absolutely no sense to me as a man. That you're going to stay in a situation that you knew what was going on and then get mad that it's still going on. Well, I just thought, you know, that even though he was cheating in, that maybe I guess it would just fade to black and it would just stop. Why would I stop? Let's not ask, why would he stop? Let's ask, why not keep going? I already started cheating. She knows about it. When she found out about it, all she wanted to do was slap me around a couple times. And then we end up having sex and then we move forward. We never addressed, you know, that I had to stop in order to stay with her. So why wouldn't I keep going? If I know I can have my cake and eat it too, why would I stop? This is crazy to me. And it's even crazier that the first thing we go to, especially as black people, is that we want violence against men. This is crazy.
About to fucking tip out the pot how hot I was. So I'm like, no, I'm not hungry. And so he was like, you all right? Like, you not hungry? Like, you okay? You feeling good? I'm like, I'm feeling good, real good. I'm feeling better as soon as I see you. He must have knew I was up to something, because he was like, what happened? And I was like, nothing happened. I'm just like so happy we're in such a good space. Like, you know, just being crazy, Jasmine. So he was like, all right, well, I'm up the street since you don't want nothing to eat or whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So he pulls up, and so I get in the car, and I'm like, because I know him. Like, if I was to tell him over the phone, he was not finna come over, and I need to fucking beat his ass.
Who would come knowing you're about to try to physically assault me, knowing he's already cheated? So I'm sure this is not the first time that they've been into some type of physical altercation. Of course he's not.
So, get to this house, and I know if I say something while you're not here, like, you're not gonna pull up, and then I'm gonna have to go find you, and I might just find you tonight because I'm pissed the fuck off. So he gets to my house, I pull out my phone, I'm like, oh, that's crazy, dang. And I was like, oh, like, I forgot to tell you this. And he was like, what? I was like, you remember this girl named Petty we went to high school with? And he was like, no, I don't know her. And so I showed him the phone, I showed him the picture, and he like, we didn't go to high school with her. And I was like, yeah, she kind of old, huh? And he was like, how you know her? And I was like, I don't know her. In fact, she reached out to me. And I was like, so who is she? And I was like, and don't say you don't know her, because she just told me that y'all finna have a baby and that you live with her. Isn't that crazy? I was like, I didn't know all of this. Like, I don't want to impose, I don't want to impose. Even though he was a big dude, he knew I was a little psycho. So he like, man, like, let me just tell you, like, let me just tell you. I was like, what you better tell me is this bitch lying. You better tell me she lying. And if that's not what you're gonna tell me, I'm finna beat your ass.
Before we go forward with the story, I also need to address that part right there. If you're not going to tell me what I want to hear, there will be violence. So again, remember I said I'm going to give some rational thoughts and on top of the personal. And this is also my personal belief. We got to give people room to be honest. I've been to the point to where I penalized honesty and then got mad when the person decided not to be honest with me anymore. We can't penalize honesty and then still expect more honesty. You got to give them room. Now, what I did, again, I'm not perfect. I've been in some toxic situations where I say, listen, let me get a room to tell me the truth. But the moment you tell me a lie, we're going to have the same issues like Miss Jasmine said above. Tell me the truth. I may get mad at the truth, but I'm not going to punish you for the truth. But I will punish you if you continue to lie to my face. And I know you are. We got to give people the room to tell the truth without being penalized.
And he the type of nigga, like, if you hit him, he gonna hit you back. So we finna fight. And I'm gonna fight your big fat ass right now, because you got me fucked up. So he like, no, like, that, man, like, I don't know, like, this not how I wanted you to find out, like, this not how I wanted you to find out. And I was like, this not how you wanted me to find out what? And he was like, that, like, I'm finna be a daddy. I don't remember what happened to that, but all I remember is just me taking off on him and we just fighting in his car. So I'm like, fuck you, you so stupid, like, you so fucking stupid. So I get out the truck, he like parked down like at the end of the block, like where my house is. He parked like at the other side of the block. So I'm walking in the rain back to my house. He like, man, get in the car, like I'm so sorry, like I don't want to hurt you, like get in the car, like you know, like we've been through so much together. Like he really like crying or whatever. He like, we've been through so much together, like I don't want to hurt you, like I fucked up. So I was like, yeah, so around this time, my sister, maybe a couple months after my sister had passed, I'm finding this out. So I'm like, let me ask you something. I was like, on that day when my sister died, was you with this bitch? And he just gave me the most fucking disgusting look, like, that told me everything I needed to know. And I was like, one time when I needed you, you couldn't even fucking be there for me. Like, you ain't shit. Like, I would never fuck.
Now I will say again, with being the cheater, if you're not ready to balance both lives and make it to where the side person is not interfering with your main life, you need to stop, cease and desist. You're not ready. Everyone is not ready for the lifestyle of for that the things that come with the cheating lifestyle. I can honestly say some of the things I have never been ready for. If if it's gonna interfere with your everyday lifestyle, don't do it. If you're not in a place to where you can make sure that it never interferes with your main lifestyle, don't do it. It's not meant for everybody. You got to be able to handle it. He was not able to handle it, so he should again have been broken up with. There's no way that that should have happened. What she just explained.
Fuck with you again, like you ain't shit.
And she should have just.
So I was like, after that, I found out all of that. And
see now, to be completely honest, this is where I have an issue with the story because this should be the end of the story. There should be nothing else after this. There should not be a lick back coming after this because at this point, where you know you have been cheated on in the past by this person, you know you've been cheated on in the present by this person, you know this person has completely said, forget protection. I'm going to put you in jeopardy. I'm going to put myself in jeopardy. And I'm also going to potentially bring another baby into this world because I don't care. Now we're getting into some uncharted territories where we should just leave it alone. People, all of us, anybody caught in these types of situations, we should stop. Leave. These people are letting us know how they feel about us by doing these acts and doing these things. We need to leave. We need to stop. Cut it off right there. This story should be over with. I found out he had another baby. Sayonara.
And that shit, I was out for blood. And one thing, ladies, like, and this is one thing I had to learn too, you can't pay no nigga back with your pussy. You can't make a nigga hurt because who you fuck with your pussy. You can't.
Please, say it like. We gotta rewind that for the folks. I need to play that shit again.
After that, I found out all of that, and that shit, I was out for blood. And one thing, ladies, like, and this is one thing I had to learn too, you can't pay no nigga back with your pussy. You can't make a nigga hurt because who you fuck with your pussy. You can't, because you just really gonna hurt yourself. But it felt good in the time.
I've spoken about this topic many a times, and I've spoken about the differences between men and women. And any doctor will tell you this. Men and women cannot do the same thing sexually. You cannot explore your options as a woman and think that the consequences are the same as when men explore their options as men. They're not the same. Men can get 10,000 women pregnant in a year. Women, you can only have one baby a year. It's not the same things. And there's a reason you only can have one baby a year. There's a reason you have something going inside of your fluids and all this other crazy shit. You cannot do it. Even with protection, you can still get bacterial vaginosis. There's a reason for this. Biologically, outside of how we feel, there's a reason you can't do this. Your bodies are telling you not to do this. Doctors tell you don't do this.
Time, like, I felt like I was like getting revenge, but like your best revenge is to glow up, get that bread up, and be the best version of yourself. But
your best revenge is to leave. Let's keep it there. Let's make sure we clear the air. The best revenge is to just leave and then let them see you with what they thought that they were giving up for something better. Let them see that it was not all bright on the outside. Let's just not just dip into the money and all this other shit. But let's just let them know what they left.
You know, whatever. You live and you learn. So that's when that's when my friends I was, making at cosmetology school was like, girl, get on a dating app and fuck that nigga or whatever. So
single women keep women single. Please don't listen to your single friend. Move on. Leave. Be better. Do not stoop to anyone's level.
what happened was I ended up meeting this dude who was out here from North Carolina. And so he was out here from North Carolina, and he was staying at this house in like Redondo Beach, whatever. So he would be hitting me up like every day, like pull up, pull up, pull up. I don't know.
There is always, with women, there's always men that are waiting for the door to open so that they can slide. Always. There's always 100. I will give her credit if the story is as she's saying. I will give her credit for at least waiting until after this first situation was done to start entertaining those men. But as men know and as women know, there's always probably 100 men in those DMs just waiting for the opportunity to let that door creak open, and we're going to dive in. We all know this.
In a car. So I was like, I'm not pulling up, whatever. So one night, me and my friend PW, we was together, and I was like, hey, you want to go to this zoo house? And so she like, yeah. So we end up going together. When we in the house, they like playing a game. And so I'm not super like into sports or nothing like that. So like it could be a whole like fucking championship basketball player, whatever, sitting next to me, and they like playing the game or whatever, and they like, oh, ha 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 ha, and they like call the name like Jason Johnson on the game or whatever, and they like, dog, that's so tight, like you in the game or whatever, da, 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 da. Like, and then it's like all these other dudes that's like playing or whatever. So come to find out, we like hanging out with a whole bunch of NBA players. I'm like, oh, this is kind of lit. Like
Ooh, this is nice, girl. This all this is you right here? Okay. They don't.
I'm new to this. Like, this is cool. So after that night, so the whole night, Deshaun is texting me like, I love you, like, where you at? Like, I'm about to pull up where you at, da 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 da. I'm like, don't worry about where I'm at. I'm just know I'm living my best life. That wasn't the saying then, but that's what the fuck I was doing. So he like, where you at? Where you at? I'm like, don't worry about where I'm at. Just know I ain't fucking with no bum ass niggas no more. So he like, oh, okay, you think you all that, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, I don't think I'm nothing. I just know I'm not fucking with you, whatever. So the night goes on.
I also will say, the way she chose to handle this is actually the preferred method. The way she told him, we're done breaking up. You had a baby. She was good. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with, I guess we'll get into it later on, but I don't have a problem with what she did up until this point. She truly was single and truly started entertaining men after, he decided to have a baby. By all means, do you. Completely fine with
that. The dude hit it off real good, and we just started hanging out like all the time because he actually lived like right up the street from my sister. So I would go see my sister sometimes and all this other stuff, and I would go to his house for like, whatever. So one day I went to go see the dude. We just gonna call him Chocolate. So he was so fine, y'all. He was fine. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like, he was so fine. He had these like, those like big sleepy eyes that Omar Epps used to have. Well, Omar Epps got. And like, he was just had like a nice body. He was tall. He was just real chocolate. He was fine. So so one day I went to see him, and I had like this kimono on or whatever, and like we was just like laying in the bed, and he was like, damn, you look so good. And he starts taking all these pictures of me, like these. I wish I still had these pictures because these pictures was so pretty, like so pretty. And like I never had nobody like just be like, dang, like I didn't wear makeup at that time, so like just make me feel so beautiful in my like natural state. Like it just was like a cool thing. Like it was, and I wasn't even like all the way.
We're gonna just a little bit. The side men on the side. And whether he was officially on the side or not, the way she's going with the story is you can tell this was a rebound side dude, whatever you want to call it. But they have a distinct advantage because they come into situations where they're not obligated to the same responsibilities as if I were dating him and she wasn't hurt or rebounding or fully single. If she had been fully single, and she's light skinned and she has a pretty face, so assuming that these dudes really were the way they were, I don't know, but she's pretty enough. I can believe that somebody probably maybe back in her heyday would work for her. I'm assuming that you probably got to put in some work for this woman. But because she came into a man on a rebound, because she came into a man where she was scoring, trying to get a lick back, she didn't have any requirements. She had somebody saying, hey, kept sliding her DM. And what was the first thing she said she did? Oh, I just went to his house and linked with him and a bunch of friends. How many women do you know, like, literally do that when they single? They just go through their DM and see dudes and be like, oh, this one said, come over, and I'm going to just go over to his house and link with him on the first time meeting him. Most of them say, I'm not coming to your house. You want to see me? Take me somewhere. See, but because we have these situations where we believe we're cheating back or doing something, that's why she said you can't pay a man back this way. Now you're starting to get rid of requirements. Now you're starting to get rid of your standards just to have some type of feeling or do something. When in reality, what you should have been doing is if you really wanted this to work or you really was ready to move on, then you would have done it the right way and you would have had your standards in place, said, hey, take me on a date, let's start doing things like this. She jumped straight into the bed. She said, we kicked it for a couple times. My first visit was at his house. We kicked it for a couple times and now here we are taking pictures in bed. I wasn't fully naked, but I still had on clothes. What are we talking about? Side dudes have it really good because they get to, especially the ones where you find that one rebound. You don't have no standards. You can say whatever you want to continue, making sure you get the pleasure and things that you need because, of course, he's winning right now. And a lot of y'all females, I'm going to help y'all onto some game. A lot of y'all don't even understand that as a side dude, we can say certain things and kind of mean it because we're so enthralled by the fact that we've been able to get access to you and privileges from you that we hadn't have to work for. So naturally, we're going to want to continue making sure we get those benefits, that access for nothing. So sometimes we'll say things that we don't mean. We just wanted to keep going. Sometimes we'll even be bothered by you trying to remove the access because we got free money. Vagina is money. You gave me free money. Of course I'm going to lie to you to keep getting free money. Of course I'm going to be mad at you for trying to stop giving me free money. Understand that.
Naked, like it was like they were very like sexy, classy pictures. Like I wish I still had them. Like they were so pretty, and so he was like, "You were just so."
You can just about know, and it's a little bit off topic. You can just about know that she regrets not basically, wifing the side dude. And the problem was not that he didn't want her. The problem was she didn't even have any requirements going in, so you don't even know whether he wanted her or not. All you did was have a guy who you gave free money to. And then now she's basically sitting here clamoring and reminiscing, as you can tell from the eyes. She's reminiscing about, that guy. And of course, there was a bunch of fun times. There was a bunch of passionate moments because y'all didn't have to do it the right way. Y'all went into this knowing, you went into this, not even knowing that you gave him all the fun part without any of the hard. He never had to date you. He never had to get to know you. He never had to learn you or earn his way to the access that he got. So of course he came and left. And of course you reminiscing about it because it was all good and fun.
Fucking beautiful. Like, oh my God. So he takes all these pictures. I didn't care. And he kept them for care. Like, I was like into him. So I thought it was kind of cool that he just like took a whole bunch of pictures of me and kept them, for himself. Like, okay, like maybe he wanted, get off to him later. That's kind of cool. That's okay.
Sexy and classy.
So, me and the guy, Chocolate, are like, I guess we would have like a friendship.
A what?
Whatever. I wasn't really looking for no boyfriend, but I was just looking for somebody to like kind of get me out of the space that I was in with Deshaun. Like I had super extreme low self-esteem while I was with him.
It's not about the self-esteem. You accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. You listen to other females. You listen to the other single women who told you just go out and do something. Not even acknowledging what's the problem. The problem is you want to be in a relationship. You're a relationship woman. You wanted to be in a relationship. You just chose the wrong person. You chose that original man who you knew was cheating, and you stayed in that until it got to the point to where it becomes so overwhelming to now it's messing with your mental. So now to so-called relieve the mental, instead of addressing what's going on with you, you say, no, now I just need to do something else to get my mental off of him and just on to something else, and just completely ignore what I should be addressing, which is why I messed up, which is why I decided to stay with a cheater, which is why I decided to react after the 8th, 10th time, which is why I decided to fight every time he cheats. We're going to ignore all of those things that matter and only focus on trying to just get my mind off of it temporarily, and then wonder why we end up in situations like this. To where now you all infatuated with your guy that you're giving free money to, and not even knowing that what he's really here for. Because if he really wanted to be there, he would have wifed you. If he really wanted to be there for that, he would have stayed. But he's happy because he's just getting free money. So of course it's good.
And like just being around like a different environment, meeting new people, like I was starting to build my confidence back up, and like starting to just like, you know, be the girl that I, you know, dreamt of being, I guess,
No.
if you will. I don't know.
No.
So this is where
laugh.
it gets good. The whole thing with me and Deshaun like happened again. Like I kind of went back to him, and like
because it was never over. Let's start there. It was never over, which is why I said now. Now again, we started with he's cheating and I know. We got into then he did it again. Now we're back at he cheated, got another baby, I know, and I still went back.
It's sad because like we would do the most outlandish things to each other, and then still end up back with each other. And this one don't feel.
So that's what we need to be addressing. These are the issues that we need to address, and not just get our mind off of it temporarily. Because now she done went through this whole nother situationship and still haven't even addressed why you continue to go back to this toxic shit. We still haven't even addressed that, but at least her self-esteem is up now, right? But at least she feels a little better about it now, right? At least she's a better woman now, right? Even though we didn't address none of this shit. And that's why we right back in the same position. So now we're just going to go right back down again. Come on, man. Come on, y'all.
Like, I guess like 4.5 years. And it's just really sad because it's like, I think that being like my first like real relationship, I kind of like, even though we had like a really, really strong bond, a lot of those like toxic behaviors like really keeps me, I still remember the trauma from that relationship, which, you know, makes me not kind of sometimes not want to try with people, you know.
The trauma from a relationship she chose to be in and chose to stay in and chose to go back to makes her not want to be with people further. Now, again, let's take it away from her, because I don't want this to be an attack on Jasmine, but I do want this to be an indictment and a flag for everyone else to see the signs early and understand what it can get to. She's telling you how this traumatized her years later, years farther down the line, how this still affecting her and making her not want to move on further to where she should have left. This is why I said we got to get into the rational part of it as well. To where she should have left and should have just ended this shit. She had the option to leave. She was gone and out the door, and so-called was infatuated with a whole new chocolate, dream yacht, all this other shit that she said she had, and still went back. So that anybody else who's going through something similar or having thoughts that, you know, maybe I should get away, but I'm staying because it's comfortable and it's complacent, leave. If it's meant to be, then it'll happen again. But we gotta stop trying to glorify this staying and fighting through it shit. Fuck that. Leave.
In most toxic relationships or unhealthy situationships that, you know, like, y'all don't be done with each other for long, and then when y'all are cool, that don't last for long either. It's just a cycle of toxicity and abuse over and over and over again, right? And this situation was no different than any of the ones that you guys may have been in or know somebody who have been in. We was just back and forth, up and down roller coaster and around and around. So somehow we ended up back cool. I have no fucking idea how we did, but we did. And I'm so embarrassed to say that because just the stories I tell y'all now and just who the woman I am and I'm becoming, I'm cringing right now. It's like, girl, what the fuck? Because I would never. So I don't even know how we got into it. We got into it about something, because it's always something. So we got into it, and I guess he thought it was okay to send me a picture of his motherfucking baby mama ultrasound. Y'all love sending me them damn ultrasound pictures, don't y'all hoes?
Y'all love sending me them ultrasound pictures. And again, this is just more trauma on top of more trauma on top of more trauma. Clearly, I didn't catch this the first time, but clearly, this has happened multiple times with multiple people. But she said, y'all love sending it. So apparently she's had another man to do this to her, to where they want to flex for what they've done with another woman on her. Let's take it away from Jasmine one more time. Why people cheat matters. If you've dealt with multiple cheaters multiple times, this is no longer a they ain't shit conversation. This is a what are you doing before and during and after the relationship? What are you doing before? Who are you picking? What are you doing during what are you doing during the relationship? Are you doing things to keep your men happy if you are choosing the right people? Because we got to start at the beginning. Are you picking the right people? Either you picking the good or the bad ones. Let's just assume she's picking the good ones. Now, once you got them in the house, what are you doing to make sure that they don't go back outside the house? Are you doing your job as a man or as a woman to make sure that there's no one who are in them DMs who will have a creak in the door to get inside of the relationship? To the point to where they get here, get you, and then decide to cheat and go have babies. So again, this is something that we need to address within ourselves, because as a person who's been a cheater and who's been cheating on, I decided to say, okay, I understand that you wanted to cheat, but I need to know what was anything that I did that could have stopped this. Was there anything I need to do better within myself and be a better man, for the relationship? So what I always do is, regardless to whether they can answer those questions or not, I make sure I'm being the best boyfriend that I can be to anybody that I'm in a relationship with, so that there can never be a question about how good of a boyfriend I was being. Now, there are other things that, maybe I can't be perfect in. I don't expect to be perfect. I just expect to be good. Sometimes great. I don't expect to be perfect. And I accept that. I accept the fact that as long as I gave you a good 80 to 90% of what I could, then I can live with that. But what I can't live with is knowing that I went into a relationship half-assed. And then when shit got bad, I started wondering, well, maybe I should have did a little bit more. Maybe I should have just tried a little bit harder. I want to try hard in everything that I commit to, so that I'll never have these questions. So when I leave, I can know, hey, I did everything I needed to do. There's no reason to even look back or dub back, because if I gave you as much as I could and that wasn't enough, I can never be better than that. I can never be perfect. It will never get better. And then now we get to the after. What are you doing after relationships? After someone cheats on you, after you found out, all right, I got the wrong person and I'm trying to move on, but then you keep dubbing back to these exes. This matters. What are you doing after the relationship? We gotta talk about these things, y'all, or you're going to end up like Jasmine, who's sitting here telling a story about a guy who she knew was cheating before the story started. He cheated on her when the story in the middle, and then she got back with him again, knowing how toxic and bad it was. Come on.
I almost said something. But us being cool, me and Chocolate are still kind of, cool. But I'm not talking to him as much, and I guess he can like tell. But one day, Chocolate sends me the pictures that he had, and he was like, look at how beautiful you are. Like, I can't wait to see you again. Da 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 da.
So I do still hit her up. Why? He's telling her how beautiful she is. Can't wait to see you again. Why? Because he lost access to the money. Again, she was giving him free money, took the money away, and then thought he was just going to stop wanting the free money. I heard a woman tell me this. She said, well, I just assumed, once it was over, it was going to be over. Men just, let it be that. You're not going to start giving a man, you're not going to start giving anybody free money. Then take the free money away and think they're not going to try to come back for the free money. They're going to dub back. And Chocolate tried to dub back.
So I guess Deshaun had saw that Chocolate.
Mind you, she's in a relationship with Toxic again. And the other dude is trying to get that money back.
He had texted me, and we was obviously together for him to see, and he was just like, who is that? And I'm like, no. He like, let me see your phone. And I'm like, no, you can't see my fucking phone. He like, why can't I see your phone? And he was definitely a chronic phone breaker. All the phones I went through while I was with him was probably like 15 phones. I went through a lot of phones with him from him breaking them, and I definitely came out of pocket a lot of the times on phones and shit from being with him. And
she knew this. Now again, because I spoke about this to somebody else. I said, why don't y'all consider the consequences of certain actions? Let's just giving the man all the benefits of the doubt. Let's just assume he was still a good person outside of him being a chronic phone breaker and a cheater. You're dealing with a chronic phone breaker and a cheater. You know that if he finds something in his phone he doesn't like, he's going to break it. Why would you even allow that man to still have access to you in that way? You truly done with Chocolate and you truly ready to get back with chronic phone breaker. Why would you then leave this man to still be able to text you on the phone? Come on, man. Y'all gotta think. At this point, you're just creating situations. Block him. If you're truly done, if he's truly just a side dude, and that's over with. But of course, we're not going to acknowledge the fact that he wasn't a side dude. He wasn't over because she's still not even sure. She decided, I'm going to play both ends. I'm going to keep him around in case he's ready to dub back. Still give him access to me in certain ways so that if he's ready, when I'm ready for him, he'll still be here. And then wonder why we got stories like this.
So, he was like, let me see your phone. I'm like, no. He like, well, if you don't want to let me see your phone, get the fuck out. So I'm like, all right, bye. So I left or whatever. So
why is she so quick to say, all right, bye? Because I still know I got a boy over here waiting for that door to crack open. So just in case if you want to keep acting dumb, I'm going to just dub back to old boy. Of course she says that now. But you went back to him knowing he was like this. This makes no sense. Stop going back to people like this. Leave. But of course, because he was cheating, now I gotta cheat. So now we just got a bunch of cheating people mixed into a ball. To where you're letting someone else's actions dictate how you move. And that's where it becomes a problem. Because what you do shouldn't affect how I move. I move how I move, whether you do that shit or not. I don't need your justification or you to move this way for me to move that way. I can do whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want to do it. Period. And that's how we should keep it. Leave these people before you get so toxic and so tainted by things like this. Stop dealing with it. Don't let nobody control you or how you move. If you didn't want to cheat in the first place, don't cheat just because somebody else cheated. Do you. Be your own person. If you want to stay with a cheater and you know they're a cheater, then deal with it. But don't deal with that shit and then get mad later.
So the next day, Deshaun hits me up talking shit you cheating on me, da, 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 da. How the fuck you gonna cheat on me? You know what, that's fine, you can cheat on me here. And sends me a picture of his baby mama's ultrasound.
He's wrong. He's not wrong for being mad that she's dealing with other men. He's wrong for sending a picture. He was trying to strike a match and he found it. He struck that hard. And I don't blame her for anything that happens after that. Because if he truly did that, that story went the way she claims it did, he deserves everything that comes after. But I'm not blaming him for saying she's a cheater. That's not what he signed up for. She signed up for a cheater. He did not. I went through this situation, and the first thing that was said to me is, so you think you can do certain things and I can't? I said, absolutely. But it's only because I'm willing to speak on the things that I will not tolerate. If you decided to tolerate them, do not get mad at me because you decided to tolerate them and I won't. We're not the same. I won't tolerate certain things. And just because you do does not have anything to do with me.
Oh. Well, damn. All right, Amina is just like...
An outlet? I like to go to Great Adventures sometimes too. I love going to Great Adventures. I'm an outlet. Playing around. I'm his wife.
All right. All right. I got something for that ass. I got something for you, nigga. Hold on. And I know, and it took me a minute. It took me a minute to fucking...
Or do they know how to strike a chord?
For me to fucking build up the confidence, because I knew he was going to do something, but I didn't know what he was going to do next. I didn't know what he was going to do next. So I was like, man, I don't want to do this, but like, I should have just been mature and just been like, oh, wow.
Once again, I'm going to applaud that because she knows, especially in looking at hindsight, we can look back and say, okay, I should have done things differently. But that's why we have these videos here. That's why we discuss them now. Because my purpose is not just to tell you, be toxic, do what Larry would do. My purpose of having these conversations and being able to talk about things like this is so we can look at it, analyze it, and we can make better decisions moving forward. Whether we be young, whether we be old, we can know if I'm ever caught like this. I can think back to when Mr. Legend said, all right, that video with Jasmine, he was telling me I'm dealing with something like that. I'm dealing with a cheater, but I don't want to leave. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. I have to make a decision. Am I going to stay here and deal with that? Or am I going to leave and be free to do whatever the hell I want to leave? I have to make that decision. Now, once I make that decision, I got to stick with it. You cannot dub back and then think things are going to be different if you didn't address what was the issue in the first place. But let's let her tell it.
But leave it up to me to take it up. Leave it up to my Sagittarius energy to take it to another motherfucking level. You want to be on level 5? Bitch, I'm going to take you to a level 15 playing with me.
I don't blame her.
I'm about to see you a picture of me landing this nigga bed. Oh. Here we go. And so I sent him the picture. I didn't even have to tell him it was another nigga bed. Like, he just knew. He just knew. Oh my God. He was like, you B, da-da-da-da-da, you a hoe, all of this, all of the things.
While I don't blame her, I don't blame him either. She knew what buttons to push. She knew what she was doing, the same as him. So now we got two hurt people trying to hurt each other more. And this is what we get.
Things that a man could say to a woman when he is upset, out of his mind, livid and hurt. So I'm like, whatever, and I block him. All of a sudden, 20 minutes later, I hear, B, come outside. Jasmine, come outside. Jasmine, come out. This man was outside my house for 2 fucking hours, throwing some rock bottles at my window, fucking beating down the mailbox, banging on the door. But mind you, he started it. He wanted to do this first. So he doing all type of stuff around my house. Like, I'm gonna burn your house down. All of this other shit. It got so bad that like the people over here was like, bro, like go home. Like go home. I called the police. The police came. He wasn't nowhere outside. So when I had to like get a report and all that other stuff, they were like, okay, if you come back, call us.
She ain't about to get a restraining order. This shit got nowhere. This shit got worse before it even came close to becoming better. And the moral and the purpose of the story is to leave. If you ever experiencing something like this, it is not worth a lick back. Do not let somebody get you out of character because of how they move. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Is I have a cashier. I'm a business owner, and I have a cashier who's stealing a couple dollars here and there out of my cash register. And instead of firing the cashier, because I like this cashier and they've been here a long time, they know what they're doing, they do the rest of their job well, but they steal money from me. Now, instead of firing this person, I'm going to then start messing with their paychecks, which is illegal. So now we're fighting fire with fire. They're stealing from me, so I'm also messing with them and stealing from them. Penalizing, making it to where both of us are going to end up suffering consequences. This is stupid. Do not get no licks backs. It's not worth it, especially if you're a woman. This doesn't help or hurt a man. The fact that you're doing this, you're hurting yourself because you're out here sleeping with multiple men, endangering yourself. Potentially, you're going to end up one of the baby mamas. Potentially, you're going to end up with something trying to match energy with a man. And it's stupid. So before anybody tries to attack me, if you made it this far to the video, just understand my point is to be better, is to elevate. I believe women are mentally and emotionally better than men in a lot of ways. We can't handle certain things that you all can handle. You all know you can handle these things, but still choose to react. I understand it. But I'm saying you also have the ability to be better. Be better. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. I'm answering, responding to everything you say. You all know if you want to have a consultation with Mr. Legendary, yesterday's price is not today's price. That's one of the reasons I haven't been here. I have been on a money-making mission. We are now up to, well, you can go on the website. I'll leave it in the, I'll leave the link below to get to my website to be able to book a consultation. Email me, speak to me in any way. You'll have access to all of my social media platforms if you click all my links. And just like always, over here, we argue facts, not emotions. I'm out.